All right. Never a dull moment in the world of YouTube streaming, let me tell you. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for joining me again. I'm Run Free Rob. This is Sprint TV, where we try to give you tips and tools to make your digital life a little bit easier. Um, as you notice, I'm still in the storage area, although I do have good news. The studio carpet is scheduled to be installed tomorrow. So, next week. Looks like next week is probably it. Um, Let me mute this so that we stop getting. There we go. Sorry about that, my monitor. Um, anyway, today we are going to talk about something incredibly important to everybody, and that is loyalty program. How to manage it, what to think about when you're putting it together, what the customer experience is, and if you're curious, why we built Run Free Loyalty the way that we did. Before we do anything else, if you would please close the live chat, click like and subscribe so that you get updates for these videos. We're here every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, soon to be Eastern Savings Time for the last time. And we are wide open to suggestions. So if you have stuff that you want us to cover, please drop it in the comments, drop it in the chat, shoot us an email at hello@runfreeproject.com, or open up your Run Free platform and use the chat function, which hopefully most of you are familiar with. So, enough of my babbling. Let's talk about loyalty programs. So, the first thing that I want to throw out there is sort of why we made decisions that we did when we were designing the Run Free loyalty program. Um, every single point of sale system that you're going to come across is going to manage how they do loyalty differently and how they expose that loyalty to other systems. So, what you build in Rix versus what you build in Lightspeed, or even with like a third party plugin like Kangaroo or something like that with Lightspeed, is going to be very, very different. And the amount of information that those systems expose to us as a piece of software that needs to read that stuff can be very limited. And our goal is to have a platform, a web e-commerce, mobile app, digital presence platform that is agnostic through and through, meaning that we want you guys to be comfortable, happy being Run Free customers, whether you're using Rix or whether you're using Heartland, uh, and you can jump between those systems at your heart's desire, and nothing on the Run Free side changes. That means that we have to look at the point of sale systems that we support, and we have to make choices about what is the common denominator that we can create so that, say, for example, you move from Shopify to Rix, you can still have the same loyalty program on the Run Free side without the entire world breaking. A lot easier said than done. But given that there are so many constraints with these point of sale systems and how they do loyalty, our ultimate design decision was to create a point of sale system, was to create a loyalty program that lives on the Run Free side. And essentially, the way that that loyalty program works is that first and foremost, it is designed to be self-service, meaning that your customers should be able to accumulate loyalty points and then should be able to redeem those loyalty points themselves without ever having to interact with you if they want to. That way, your online experience is has continuity no matter what time it is, no matter where they are, etc. So we want it to be self-service, and we want it to be agnostic to the point of sale systems. We also want to be sure that it is a complete offering, right? So it wouldn't be a good loyalty program if it didn't count in-store purchases and online purchases and event attendance if you want to have that contribute to your points. And so we made sure that we did that. So the loyalty program that is offered by us is in-store purchases, online purchases, and events. And inside the app or on the e-commerce store or on the customer admin side, which I'll show you here in just a little while, that appears as redeemable points. So as you can see on my screen right now, in pretend land, I have 4,501 redeemable points. So when you set up your point system, and we'll talk about how that works in a second, it's a two-hop system. You accumulate points, and then you redeem those points for something. Okay. And in order for there to be a self-service system, both in store and online, our solution was that you redeem those points for digital gift cards. As you know, the Run Free e-commerce platform allows your users to create digital gift cards on the platform that work both in store and online. And any gift card that you've created in store is usable on your e-commerce store. Super cool, right? Well, we use that functionality to our advantage here. This way, if I have 4,501 points, I can cash those points in for a gift card right inside the app or right inside the e-commerce platform and use that gift card and have those points taken away from my account and buy what I want to buy without having to talk to anyone. It's a very useful system. And you, as the running store, have a lot of control over how the whole thing works. So let's talk about the customer and how the customer interacts first, and then we'll talk about how this stuff's set up. So the customer has a couple of different places that they can go to look at and redeem their rewards points. The first is obviously your mobile app. When they open up your mobile app, it's right there on their dashboard on the left-hand side as you see there. John Smith has 275 redeemable points, not to be confused with Miles on the other side of the screen, which is a completely separate situation that we'll talk about another day. The other place is in your actual e-commerce store. So we understand that even though there's a lot of incentive to download your mobile app, not everybody is going to want to download a mobile app, and that's perfectly fine. Participating in your loyalty program means putting your information in and signing up basically with an account on the e-commerce store or in the app. But your users can go to the e-commerce store and they can click My Account, and then they can click Manage Rewards, and it gives them all the capability that they have in the app to see the number of points that they have, to redeem those points for gift cards, to see the UPC for that gift card, and then to shop with it, whether they're in store or online. More on that in a couple of seconds. So your customers can do it in the app, or they can do it in the e-commerce store, or both. If your customer walks into the front door of your store and says, I don't like apps. I left my phone in the car. I know I have points with you and I want to use them right this second, then you can do it for them. So you just search by email address. It pulls up their customer record. As you can see on my screen right now, we've got good old John Smith, and he's living large, and you can actually go in and redeem points the exact same way that your customer would. So you could say, okay, John, looks like you got 275 points. That means you can cash in 100 of those for a $5 gift card. Do you want to do that? Yep, cool. And then it'll create the gift card right there. You can scan it with the gun and they're off to the races. You can also adjust their points up or down in any amount that you want to. So if you're trying to offer a goodwill credit to a customer that might have had to have waited too long for somebody to help them on a busy Saturday, or if somebody said, "Hey, I was at your event this past weekend, and my phone battery died, so I didn't get a chance to check in. I want the points." You can just add those points here. And our system keeps a log of how many points were added manually or removed manually and who added them and why. So you have a nice paper trail for that. So you've got complete control over point addition and subtraction as well as adjustment. And of course, the system automates this for you. So it's going to count in-store purchases, it's going to count online purchases, and if your user checks into an event, it'll count points for those events as well. How does this actually work on the back end, right? Sounds too good to be true. So when you're setting up your loyalty program on the Run Free side, there are a couple decisions that you have to make. The first is, what is your point per dollar value going to be? So remember, we have a two-hop situation. We accumulate points, and then we can cash those points in for gift cards. So first, how are we going to accumulate points and at what value? Now you can, as you can see with the green box on your screen now, you can make this number anything you want it to be. Doesn't matter to us. My suggestion is to make it 1 point per dollar. There's no reason to complicate it. The outlier in this situation is that you may have a certain time of year or a certain campaign or program going where you say, during the month of December, everything you buy is worth double the points. Boom, there you go. You can double the points, something like that. But generally speaking, 1 point per dollar is probably a good place to go. So that's the first thing you do. The second thing that you do is you set your redemption levels. So remember, people get points for buying stuff and for attending events, and they turn those points into digital gift cards. That way they can self-service point redemption anytime, anywhere they want to. So what you have to do second by setting the redemption levels is you say 5 different point values at which people can turn their points into a digital gift card and the dollar value at each of those. So for example, if in this example that you see on the screen, if I have 250 points, I can redeem those 250 points for a $10 gift card. You can make these figures anything you want them to be too, and you can change them anytime. You can change them up or down. You can run a program that says, points are worth double in redemption. Whatever you want to do, you can change it at any point in time. It doesn't change the number of points that your customers have, but it changes the value. So there's lots of different creative ways that you can do things, and you have total and complete control. So how many points per dollar does a customer get for making purchases? What are the redemption levels that you've set to give your customer the ability to cash those points in for gift cards? And finally, third, what are the point values of your events? So on the Run Free platform, in the Run Free app, as you know, event check-in and management and reviewing what's available is a huge part of the functionality. So when you're creating an event on the Run Free platform, you can set the eligible rewards points in the box circled in green on the left to whatever you want it to be. And in the app, your customer is going to see what's on the right-hand side, which is a point value for each event based on what you've entered. So when they click on that event and they check into the event, they're going to get those rewards points based on whatever you set it. So what does that look like in practice, right? So we've got the 3 steps. So what that means is, let's say that we have set it at 1 point equals $1. Somebody buys $50 worth of stuff in store, they buy $130 worth of stuff online, and then they check into my group run worth 10 points, they now have 190 points. Now remember, this is just a random example. You can set the values for this stuff to be whatever you want it to be. So as your customer with my 190 points, I have whatever redemption levels you set as my options for cashing in my points for a gift card. So at 190, I have 60 more points before I can cash in for a $10 gift card, or I could cash in 100, get a $5 gift card, and hang on to the 90 points. So I could maybe go spend an extra 60 bucks because I want the $10 gift card. You get the picture. Gamified to some extent. What does that experience look like for your customer in the app? Well, customer's going to open up the app and they're going to see that they have their loyalty points. We're using me this time so that you can see the entire process. So in this example, I have my 4,501 redeemable points and I have my 2.01 accrued miles. This is mileage that's come over from Apple Fitness, Strava, or Garmin Connect, and it's not connected to points that are redeemable for dollars in any way, shape, or form. We'll have another video on that. But of these 4,501 redeemable points, let's say I want to cash those points in for a gift card to make a purchase. I tap that redeemable points. I guess that's what, a hexagon? and it's going to take me to this page. This is a page that has my point redemption history, as well as any adjustments that the store has made on my behalf if I'm there. So you can see here that there was a couple adjustments for testing. It also talks about the purchases I've made, etc. So it's like a little social feed. If I tap redeem up in the left-hand corner, it'll bring me to this page. Now you'll notice this page here gives me the 5 options for gift card amounts. These are those redeemable point levels that I set on the Run Free backend. When I tap I think I tapped the $10 one in this example, it's going to ask me if I'm sure. I'll say yes. As soon as I do that, it's going to bring me to this page. This page is going to have all of the gift cards that I've redeemed from a points perspective on it. The UPC here is scannable by your system at the desk. So if a customer wants to use their points, they just redeem for a gift card while they're standing there and they point their phone at you, you scan it with the gun, boom, that's done. It'll be taken care of in store, no problem. Or you can click this little copy button and then go down here and tap shop now and use the gift card in your online store. So these gift cards work online and in store. Redeeming those points for gift cards is also going to email you with an email copy of this exact same thing. So, for example, if I, as a customer, want to redeem points right now, but I don't want to use them right this second, and I don't like using apps, I've got an email in my email box that has the gift card in it, and I can show that email to one of your store employees so that I can use it as a gift card, or I can use it online. So it's very, very simple, very straightforward, gives the customer a ton of control, and you really don't have to manage anything on a redemption perspective. That said, I would like to jump over quickly to the Intergalactic Running Company store and show you a few things on the back end. Okay, so as the administrator, there's always going to be a customer who shows up who wants to use their points and who doesn't have their app, doesn't have e-commerce pulled up on the phone. They want you to manage it for them. It's pretty straightforward. You search by email address. Here we go. You go into edit. You, as the person behind the desk, can click here to redeem points. You tap whichever they would like. It's going to show you the gift card amount right there on the screen and give you the number. And it's going to immediately email that customer a copy of that gift card. So they could use it right that second by you scanning the screen, or they could walk off and use the gift card another time. This is also where you go in and adjust points for whatever reason you want to. And so you can go in there, adjust those points, and now you can see here that there is a record of those point adjustments. Rob adjusted down 100 points because of bad YouTube video. And so you, as the owner, with your employees having access to this to be able to help customers manage point redemptions if they need to at the counter, can see exactly who cashed in what for what. That's pretty much the ball game from a loyalty points perspective. Couple things to keep in mind. First of all, I would like to quickly show you what it looks like in the e-commerce store as a customer. So let's say I don't want to use an app, but I do participate in your loyalty program. I can just go to your online store, sign in, click on my account. You'll see this manage rewards button here, and it's going to open those up. And as you can see, it's got the same stuff that's in the app. It also gives me the opportunity to cash in points for gift cards here. Now, the likelihood is that if you're running events and you're calling your customers to action to get on the app so that they're connected with you in your events and receiving push notifications and part of your community, that they will simply turn their phone around and show you the gift card when they step up. But if they decide not to, or if you've got some holdouts who don't want to deal with apps or e-commerce or anything like that, which there are certainly a couple of those out there, you can cash that stuff in for them. It's all automated. It all works by itself. You don't have to adjust anything on the back end afterward. And best of all, it adds up all your in-store and your online, and it does it across any of the point of sale systems that you want to use. Pretty cool stuff. This is a really powerful tool. This is a cornerstone of why the mobile app is as powerful as it is. Obviously, being able to offer events and check into those events is such a huge part of the mobile app, because what you're doing is trying to extend the community experience to your users wherever they are and make it easier for them to live their lives revolving around your store. Um, but being able to cash in points right there in the app, being able to see exactly what I have from a points perspective, and my options makes it that much better. Hopefully this has been straightforward, easy to understand. This has been loyalty points and the program at a very, very high level. Like I said, we do this every single Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll cover anything that you guys want to cover that is obviously, for general audiences, and happy to dive in no matter what. So please like, subscribe, throw us a comment or a chat, email us at hello@runfreeproject.com if you've got some feedback or you want us to do something next week, uh, and or hit us up on the platform chat if you want to. Um, we're here to make your lives easier in the digital world, and I will see all of you again in a week, hopefully from the very cool, far less blazing hot studio.